Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to some more hot action with Patriot XL and Chris Greenman. I'm Johnny Thunder, and today we're going to tell you what we think about this story that Chris is about to show you. What do we got, Chris?
We got Donald Trump is actually in the great position to sue the district attorney of, and that is Letitia. So I'm going to just put this up real quick. This is exciting because you should just sue everybody.
Everybody sue everybody?
Do is sue her on the basis of the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
Wow! Exciting! Da-na-na-na!
You know what, man? We're gonna skip this. Dude, why does YouTube do that, man? Seriously.
Hey, you know what? I want to keep this in there. This fall stars, that was exciting, man. I don't know what. Like Star Wars number 5, 15.
This is, oh man, oh my God.
I mean, talk about dramatizing the news a little bit there, huh? Da na 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 na.
Well, here we don't even need the article. We can just
Let's go back to us. Well, I mean, hey, you guys have been teased officially, so we have nothing to live down here. So
anyway, you got the liberal media saying that, hey, Trump has a good lawsuit against Letitia for violating many of his rights, and it's funny because a lot of people have been calling for this for a while. It's like, why isn't it? Because her campaign was based on this. We've talked about this, about her specifically going after Donald, right? And she's using it in the power of office, which is under like the color of authority. If cops do it, it's a felony. So if with even a district attorney who has even more power than police officers, if they're doing the same exact thing, then you got to call them on it, and they should pay the consequence. That's basically in a nutshell on what some of these legal analysts are talking about and saying that's his next move. And he's shown indication that's what he wants well, because he, as we all know, he does not back down. He keeps coming out. He's persevering with all these crazy lawsuits against him. Incredible, because I think the average human would just put their head in the sand and go away, but he doesn't. Just actually
the one lady taking him to court that's getting busted for having an affair, and he's still working to push her off the case. And then up in New York, he's got that lady's trying to take him to task on his lock up all his money. And he basically, there was some guy was watching last night. I forget the guy's channel, but it was a black guy conservative channel. And he basically was saying, look, she's saying racist stuff. So it's like, he's pale, he's stale or whatever. I'm like, okay. Oh, so you can't do that. So, use your own DEI law against yourself.
Well, he has. I'm going to put that article back on. If you can just bear with me 1 second.
As long as it's dramatic, I'm down.
Oh, it's dramatic. Don't you worry.
Have you tried Wix or Squarespace?
I have a thing of light that give little advertisers.
Salmon, and have her sit there, and she can't say, I don't want to do it because she's an employee.
So I think this is the article you're talking about. You ready for it?
Good.
So she has to show up. So this is a magnificent opportunity. Imagine if we could have John Kerry here, now that he's not working for the White House anymore, and bring him in and ask him, how can you defend the collapse in Afghanistan? Why did you and President Biden hand $80 or so billion to Iran? And every day bring the guy in and ask him tough questions. This reminds me of college, where colleges will bring in conservative speakers, and the students will rebel and say, we don't want that person, get him out of here, and sometimes attack speakers, run them off campus. This is the adult version of that kind of misbehavior.
I wonder if they'll let her go. There is talk of an open revolt across the network, that she has to go.
The management should act like adults and say, okay, this woman, we've hired her. Your job is to ask her tough questions, as tough as you want. If you want to make her look like a fool on the air, that's just fine. But your job as journalists is to ask her questions, find out what she thinks, challenge everything she says, comment on what she says. But she's going to be in here presenting that point of view, and you can present whatever other point of view you want to. But that is the view of about half the country. That view ought to be there at NBC.
Do you think that Donald Trump should sue New York Attorney General Letitia James, and on what grounds?
I think she should. I saw an interesting little comment of hers I'd not seen before the other day. She said when she was running for Attorney General that she wants to fight an administration that's too male, too pale, and too stale. Now, you can talk about stale ideas, that's fine, but too male and too pale, that constitutes basically sex and race discrimination. So I think what President Trump ought to do is sue her on the basis of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Her office gets federal money, in fact, $311 million approximately for various subsidies for law enforcement activity. So the federal money is flowing into her office, and if she is engaged in that kind of sexual and racial discrimination and that kind of language, I think she's wide open to exposure on the 64 Civil Rights Act. Donald J. Trump should sue Letitia James on the basis of civil rights.
Well, there you have it. I don't think it could be more clear than that. That's what
Right?
you were looking for, right? That's what you were referring to, right?
Yeah.
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 And two male and two pale are direct.
Well, I'm more offended by the stale part. If someone called me stale, no, I'm joking.
No, yeah, especially you with like all your hair. You.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what pissed me
don't
off.
insult my hair, man.
Yeah.
No, but it's funny because you've got Jon Stewart. That's another funny one. He's always like tromping on Trump. That's what we'll call it. And then he just got busted in exposed in overvaluing his property to the same value of Mar-a-Lago.
Right, exactly.
And he's like, trying to make light, witty banter his way out of it. And people are calling for Letitia James to prosecute Jon Stewart. We have a short on that in our short video section. You'll find it over there.
Oh yeah. Those of you who wanted some real quick, headline news where you don't have to watch a lot of stuff, you should check out our shorts because they're gaining a lot of popularity thanks to Johnny Thunder, JT.
JT, what's up? We're absolutely serious here.
Those of you who wonder how I put that nickname together, all I really did was the first and last name, made an acronym. That's what we're doing, JT. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
That was badass. I love your creativity. So
that's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah.
So what you got lined up for us, Chris? What's our next crazy thing as we're running through this fast segment?
Does anyone like The View? Because this happens to be my favorite show to make fun of.
Is this your new Saturday Night Live, but in the morning?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I would, yeah, for sure.
See if you can line that.
Yeah, I definitely can line that up. After
this,
but you know what?
The reason why I've
canceled
my doorbell.
I like to play that first part first.
Well, you get the commercial going. I'll sing an Irish love song while you do that, and then we'll move on to the next segment. Oh, here you are, oh dearie. No, I don't know any Irish love songs. Are we kidding here? Anything to just eat up the clock.
And maybe neither have you. When Tulsi Gabbard had enough of being smeared and vilified on The View, she made sure to give us one of the most satisfying takedowns we've ever seen. But I think there was something that stood out to me this time, and that was Joy Behar doubling down on her smears even after being called out by Tulsi live on air. There's obviously a backdrop to this, so we need to explore. Let's watch this clip before we dive into it.
Thanks,
I want to start with something that I think is also important about facts. Because recently on your show here,
I was just going to get
him a nice
good. Helping you out.
You want me to ask you? Yeah.
No, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used.
Kyle doesn't like it either.
Which basically means that I'm naive or
lack
of
on her team. You got 3 people on her team.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country.
I think during the time that Tulsi was part of the Democratic Party.
So Kyle was a guest of ours, but we don't want him on anymore.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for dropping in there, pal.
I told him
Good story. Good. Thank you for the resource, sir. Credit to your channel.
I told him I'd have him as a guest speaker, but I didn't want him live. So he sent me that pre-recorded one.
So what were they doing? They've been like bashing
her off
screen, and she shows up, and now they're like, we never said that. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's the classic example like that we've seen our whole life. Someone's talking crap about you, right? Everyone's telling you, okay, Bill said this about you. He was with Johnny and he said this. Well, then you show up to the bar and Bill and Johnny are there and you're like, hey, Bill and Johnny, what the heck's up? So I heard you said this, and this. And then, wow, all of a sudden they're like, no, I never said that. I never said that. Well, the only problem is there's video of you saying that. Okay, so that's what Tulsi is. So she's, in my opinion, she's a badass. She goes on the show knowing that it's the opposite of her because she used to be a Democrat. And she's gained a ton of popularity. And there's an earthquake. I live in California.
Really?
Well, just a small one. Yeah, a couple things fell off, but it's okay. Yeah, we're good though. I guess it's.
I forget about those. You handle that like a man.
Well,
maybe you say Tulsi during an earthquake, it relaxes you, I guess. But go on.
Yeah, I guess a 4.6. Okay. Anyways,
you have a meter on the wall. Oh yeah. 4.6. Is it there vibrating at 4.6? This needle, like one of those sound things from an old stereo.
Yeah. Just a few things fell. Nothing important. So So anyway, so Tulsi just basically just fronts her straight up and just like, hey, basically, hey, you talking crap? Like, well, here I am. I'm not about that. I'm a patriot. So I freaking love this chick. I would potentially ask her out for coffee if I drank coffee.
Yeah, because she looks like she could drink some coffee, and that's what we're all about: coffee drinking conservatives.
And good hair products,
Yeah.
for both you and I. Luckily I still have all my hair. You have more hair than the average JT.
Well, I do use some chia pet seeds. It does help. A little bit of mushroom plant base into the hair product.
That
Kind of gives me that poof.
When I know, but when I use that, everyone was saying my hair didn't look real, so I had to stop with that. And then I went to the hair club for men, and then good. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna work on a Johnny Thunder wig, and maybe fans and you and other people could wear it and order it. We'll sell it in our store one day when we have this. So
I'm down for a JT shirts.